It's time to start your morning by taking 5. Here's your host, Matt McMaster.
Welcome to Take 5, a quick 5-minute take on the biggest stories happening in Nebraska sports. I'm your host, Matt McMaster, and today we go back to Lincoln as the Nebraska basketball team will play one of their most important games of the season when they take on the Penn State Nittany Lions on the road. If Sunday was any indication of how this team can play when they're not ready to go on the road, today they have to start off better. I mean, this is a very, very important game. 5 games remaining on the schedule for the Big Red. They need to get at least 2 to be okay. If they get 3 and go 10-10 in the Big Ten, they're going to be very safe heading into the Big Ten tournament, which then leading into the NCAA tournament. This is one of them. Penn State has lost 7 straight games. They have not won a game since January 2nd when they defeated Northwestern. They are not playing good basketball. They're not a good rebounding team. They're not a good defensive team. They turn the ball over too much. They have one really good player in Ace Baldwin, and despite the fact he's averaging 14 points and 7 assists, he's also careless with the basketball. 3 turnovers a game. They ask a lot of Baldwin to do things, and there are times where Ace Baldwin can go off and he can be one of the best players on the floor. There are other times where he's missing a lot of shots and he's the detriment to the team. With Nebraska, it's all about them. Got to bring your own juice. There is not going to be a lot of people in Bryce Jordan Arena tonight, straight up. I mean, there's not going to be a ton of energy in that building. Penn State isn't playing for anything at this point. If we're being frank, they're 13-13. Like I said, they won 1 game in January. They haven't won 1 game in February. They are playing teams pretty competitively. They're not getting, if you want to compare it to Purdue football, they're not getting the brakes blown off of them every single game. But Nebraska is the better team. Okay, they are more talented. They should be more physical. They have won more than this team. They are everything that Penn State isn't, but at the same time, Penn State in this game is a 1.5-point favorite. It goes to show you the nervousness a little bit around this team. The fact that this team can get so high that they can beat Illinois at home, that they can beat UCLA at home, that they can beat Oregon on the road, Creighton on the road. They can get 6 quad 1 wins, have a really good resume, but the bottom of this Husker team can fall out at any point. We saw it fall out against Northwestern. And luckily for them, Bryce Williams and Braxton Mia, they wrote the ship. Okay, they turned things around. Williams started making buckets. He started finding Mia going to the basket, who was finishing around the rim, who was getting fouled, who was making his free throws, who was making a better impact on the offensive and defensive glass. Okay, he played great. They're going to need more of that tonight. Berke Butengel is out. This is one of these games where, because Penn State is already so deficient at rebounding, you're not exactly worried to the point like you would be worried if Nebraska was playing Maryland or if Nebraska was playing Illinois or if Nebraska was playing Michigan. But at the same time, he's a valuable piece to the defense. And every game that they can play and win without him on the floor, and I think is an advantage and is a big boost. They need to get him back for that Michigan game. But if we're just talking about this specific contest, if they don't play well, they will lose. If they don't play well, you start to panic a little bit about this team's NCAA tournament odds. They'll play Ohio State. They'll play Minnesota. Those are winnable games. They'll play Iowa. That's a winnable game. Michigan, I know it's at home, but that's going to be tough, especially if Berke's out. I mean, that's the game that they're going to need Berke Butengel to hop back into the lineup. And Michigan is playing some high-level basketball. So you're a little iffy about that. It's just one of those things where, man, if you get this victory tonight, you feel so much better about your chances for the rest of the season. You feel so much better about getting that back-to-back NCAA tournament berth. You just feel it's almost a sigh of relief, right? When they beat Northwestern on Sunday, it wasn't a rah-rah, shish kumbah celebration, holy crap, we got a quad 1 win. It was oh, thank God we got out of there. Thank God we didn't drop that. Thank God that, we didn't give ourselves or we didn't open the door to play ourselves out of this NCAA tournament, because that's what a loss against Northwestern would have done. And that's what a loss against Penn State will do. 3-2 gets you in. 2-3 makes you nervous. 1-4, you're going to have to make one hell of a run of the Big Ten tournament. Tonight is a prime opportunity against a team that has not won in a while to continue the streak, to continue the path to March for Nebraska basketball. That's been Take 5. I've been your host, Matt McMaster.